Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. I know this video is dropping super late at night, but I just got home and unfortunately had to leave right before leaks dropped today, which was a shame because they dropped them like an hour and a half later than normal. With that being said, I did want to make a quick video just breaking down tomorrow's drop and talking about why I think this drop is really, really bad for NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. That's the main point of this video. So we'll talk about the cards that are involved in the drop first, but then once we get through that, we're going to talk about why I think this drop is not going to be good for MyTEAM. And yeah, with that being said, before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So tomorrow's drop, we have Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama, Pink Diamond Kyrie, Pink Diamond Clay, Diamond Carmelo, Josh Smith, Raymond Felton, D'Angelo Russell, and Tony Kukoc. So on paper, honestly, outside of Wemby, this is not a super great drop. I think that's intentional. I think that the odds of pulling Wemby tomorrow are going to be really low, and every other card in this set is going to be pretty cheap, which should lead to some decently priced budget cards, if nothing else. But overall, I don't think does much to contribute to actual quality in tomorrow's content drop, and is going to make packs, honestly, even probably a little bit less rewarding than they normally would be, which obviously is not a great place to be. So with that being said, Wemby's the best card in the game, right? He's the best center in the game. I don't think that has to be talked about too much. Well, real quickly, let's just go over to 2KDB and let's just take a look at all these other names first and foremost. So I guess we'll start with Raymond Felton, who's like, what, 6 foot? So I don't think this card's going to be a dog. Yeah, 6'1", 6'4" wingspan. Can't dunk, or can he dunk? I guess he can dunk. 70 driving dunk. He can dunk better than I anticipated. Defensive badges need some work. He's not awful. He's better than I thought statistically. He's not terrible defensively. 6'5" interior isn't great though at 6'1". Jeremy Lambase, I have no idea if that's good or not. Pro dribble style, is that any good? I don't think that's great either. I mean, Sigs wise just doesn't look unbelievable at all. This is probably a pretty mediocre card. He'll be cheap, and I don't think he'll be all that good, so I wouldn't be too particularly excited about Raymond Felton. Now, a card that I actually did predict for this drop is Tony Kukoc, and it does turn out Tony Kukoc is getting a card. 80 speed is not great for a small forward, but he is 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan. Should be a super solid shooter with a fast release, and he's got a decent amount of badges, even if some of them are lower tier badges. So when you look at the card, I mean, if you added Limitless, maybe Deadeye, and then defensively, things like, honestly, at the 4, I think is probably going to be his best position. Brick wall, movable enforcer, and paint patroller. He's not bad, because I would assume his jumper is probably very good. Even on only normal, this card will be better than the stats and badges say that he should be, and I think he'll be a decent card. I'm not saying he's going to be the best, but I think he'll be pretty solid in my team as well. So Kukoc should be, again, pretty cheap and very, very solid. D-Lo will probably not be worth picking up. I'd rather just stick with guys like DeJounte Murray, the free Jalen Green, Chris Paul, Tyrese Maxey. I mean, D'Lo, the problem with him is the total lack of defense. If you add defensive badges, he's not bad, but he also needs posterizer, and he has no defensive badges at all. The defensive stats are terrible. So that honestly kind of kills this card, is the total lack of defense. So I just don't think he's that great either. Josh Smith is probably an absolute dog on paper, but I would assume if he's anything like his last couple of years, he's going to suck as a shooter because his jumper is going to stake. Defensive badges are really good. Slashing is also elite. He's got great speed as well. Would be a really, really good small forward, power forward, except the Brook Lopez base is absolutely cruised, and that is a killer for this card because otherwise he actually looks pretty solid. But I do not think that Josh Smith, with the jumper he's got, is also going to be all that great. And then the last diamond from tomorrow's drop is Carmelo, who I assume is kind of in a similar boat to D'Angelo Russell in that he's awesome offensively, defensively very mid. And yes, defensive badges are terrible. Defense in general just isn't very good. Offensively, card will be awesome. If you fully badge him defensively, he'll be okay, but 70 interior, 72 perimeter is not getting the job done, plain and simple. It's just not. I know his offensive animations look nice. D-Book dribble style, Kobe escape, Carmelo's release on quick. The card won't be bad, but he certainly won't be great either because of that total lack of defense, which honestly means every single diamond tomorrow has some sort of flaw that kind of limits the drops. That starts off with a drop where there are no really good diamonds to pull tomorrow, and that will create some cheaper diamonds, but also I don't think any of them are like top tier cards, although some of them will be decent budget cards. Clay's going to be an incredible shooter with an elite release. nice and a very, very good defender. Just a top tier 3 ND, kind of a better version of a Chris Mullin, but only a 65 driving dunk and no real playmaking ability. 79 speed with ball. SIGs just don't look special at all. This is not a card who's going to be top tier. I mean, he's going to be good. He's going to be really good as a 3-and-D, but I don't think he's going to be top tier enough without the slashing and without the shot creation to really be an elite level shooting guard, because he's very much a cone, and a cone is not worth 300,000 or 400,000 MT, which is probably how much Clay will cost. Also, not bad, but not great. And then Kyrie, who I'm sure is very solid, 6'2", 6'4", wingspan, 93 3 ball, 94 speed, 93 agility. Can't dunk, though. Yeah, see, Kyrie would be good, too, if he could dunk, but a 40 driving dunk isn't going to cut it. Low interior as well. If he had like a 75 driving dunk, this card would be good, but as is, no. He needs too many defensive badges, especially with the inability to dunk the ball as well. I know his release is good this year. I know his SIGs are nice. He'll be fun to use, but again, not elite. This is a drop where literally every single card besides Wembanyama is not elite, and that's not a good thing, because that makes tomorrow's drop very much Wembanyama or bust. And I assume Wemby's going to be really expensive. Like, I not only assume, I guarantee he's going to be really expensive. 1.5 million MT at the minimum. I would say could easily get up to 2+ million MT. And when you look at the stats and the badges, I mean, you see why. I know 79 speed isn't insane, but on a 7'4" big with a 7'8" wingspan, it is insane. His jumper's improved this year. He's a very good shooter. Already has good shooting badges. Elite level defender already. And yes, he could use glove, a movable enforcer, on-ball menace, especially a movable and on-ball menace. And then, I mean, maybe a shifty shooter, slippery off-ball, couple badges like that. But overall, he's really not flawed in many ways. His jumper is nice. I know he's not going to have top-tier SIGs. But, dude, Wemby's going to be the best big in the game because of how giant he is, how elite of a shooter he is, how dominant on the inside his size is going to make him. He is just going to be a complete pain in the butt to play against, and he's going to be exceedingly expensive. And exceedingly expensive for a very long time. Like, y'all thought Braun was expensive. Wemby's going to be that on steroids, and just a very unattainable card for the majority of the community, which is a real shame. Which, the one thing, if I am looking for a positive spin on this, and I'm sure some people are thinking about this from this perspective, cards are going to be cheaper on the auction house because of Wemby. That is the only real positive that I see out of this drop. And if I pull up the auction house right now, it looks like card prices have dropped some, but not enough. I mean, Paul George is still 750K. Zach LaVine is still 650K. Joel Embiid is going to be 700K once that card sells. Like, the card prices have not dropped enough to where I think it's going to be able to be much easier to get those guys. And that's going to create a market where it's still really expensive to get top tier cards, maybe a little bit cheaper for certain guys, especially more common cards. But Wemby is still going to be super unattainable for the average MyTEAM player, and that creates even more of a pay-to-win gap in the game. I will say Chet Holmgren holds more value to me now today than he did yesterday, because he will be, in terms of size, one of the few people who can match up with Wemby pretty effectively, and very much kind of a Wemby light type of card. So if you can get Chet Holmgren, he's a guy I would consider adding to your squad. I think he'd be a big help. I mean, for me, my starting center right now is Jaren Jackson Jr. is 6'10". I don't know what I'm going to do about Wemby, to be completely honest, and I only have 160K MT. Now, I will be opening packs tomorrow. I'm a content creator. It's my job, and I am going to try to give myself at least a shot to get Wemby, but I'll be totally honest with y'all. If you are thinking about getting into MyTEAM, and you haven't already, I would tell you right now not to. If you are into MyTEAM, but you're frustrated by how hard it is to keep up, and you feel like your team is lagging behind, just stop playing. Go play Park. Go play Madden. Go play MLB. Go play Fortnite. Go play COD. Go play something else. Just do something else with your time and your money. I'm going to be totally honest. Unless you are a huge spender who just has tons of disposable income, a massive grinder who is just willing to grind and have a lesser team, or someone like me who is a content creator, I don't see a real reason to play MyTEAM. I know a lot of people are holding on to the MyTEAM of the past. It's not coming back. There's a reason I've started 2 NBA channels up in the last couple of weeks. I am planning on grinding those out with real consistency over the rest of the year, because I want this to be the last year that I am reliant on MyTEAM content. I just have no desire whatsoever to attach myself to this game long term. So yes, I will be opening packs tomorrow. Yes, I will be trying to get Wemby myself. I probably won't get him, though. I mean, my 450K VC is not going to get Wemby. I highly doubt it anyway, but I will be trying, and that will be doing it for me for this video. Not thrilled about Wemby coming tomorrow, and certainly not thrilled about the way that the rest of the drop seems to appear for this Wemby card. So I like my team, but unfortunately, as much as I do like my team, I don't think it's good enough to counter Wembanyama, and that is a very, very unfortunate truth and an unfortunate reality right now in my team. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.